The fight against Neri does not start well for Naoya. Neri manages to land a very short hook precisely on the chin, perfectly timed with Inoue's attack. But like the true greats of this sport, this fall did not cause him to panic. Instead, it sharpened his senses. It served as a reminder that in boxing, any punch, any small opportunity can change everything, regardless of your record or how good you think you are. In this game, you cannot make mistakes, because your opponent can and will take advantage of them. He was sure he didn't want to take any more risks, so after that knockdown, Inoue made a masterful adjustment and displayed impeccable defense. The monster put aside any overconfidence and began to read Neri's offense like an open book. Realizing that the Mexican had a habit of lunging forward and overcommitting himself in his attacks, Naoya kept perfect distance. Instead of trading blows, Inoue began to use calculated footwork. We see how he moved backwards just as Neri launched his combinations. This control of space left Neri punching the air and completely out of position. By making the Mexican miss and letting his own momentum throw him off balance, Inoue found the perfect openings. From that moment on, Inoue showed us that he is not only a terrifying puncher, but also a boxer with defensive intelligence, capable of adapting his style and reducing risks when necessary. With this strategic and defensive adjustment, Naoya's dominance was so absolute that the dynamics of the fight changed completely. The question in the air was no longer whether Inoue would knock out Neri, but when he would do so.
But for how long? That's my question. For how long can he take these shots?
Naoya's impeccable defensive system and masterful control of distance left Neri completely ineffective. If the fight against Neri showed us Naoya's defensive intelligence, his bout against Stephen Fulton is a doctoral thesis on how to set up a knockout. In top-level boxing, lethal blows don't happen by accident. They are prepared. And Naoya spent 7 whole rounds setting up the perfect situation to turn out the lights on Fulton. From the opening bell, Inoue established a very clear tactic: the jab to the body. He didn't throw it just to score points, but as a tool for control and damage accumulation. Fulton is a fighter who relies heavily on his mobility to outbox his opponents. The stinging jab to the stomach served a double purpose. First, it stole Fulton's air. Blow by blow, Inoue drained the American's energy, taking his breath away and, as a result, weakening his legs. In fact, by the second half of the fight, it was clear that Fulton had stopped using his characteristic footwork, becoming trapped within the monster's range.
The most interesting thing to me is that Fulton is not using any of his footwork. He's not using any of his lateral movement at all. And you want to know why? Because Inoue has stopped that.
But the second purpose was to condition Fulton's brain. He forced him so that every time he saw Naoya's left shoulder move, his instinct would be to lower his guard and gaze to protect his body. He was setting Fulton up. And then, in the 8th round, he fell in the trap.
It's really hard to get in and out. Oh, right hand hurts him! Oh, huge right!
The 7-round investment paid off. Moving on to his fight against Michael Dasmariñas, we see another terrifying facet of the monster: the art of calculated, suffocating pressure. Inoue does not go out looking for a quick knockout with a single blow, but rather executes a methodical demolition based on cornering, wearing down, and accumulating damage.
Range to land is unnerving, Dasmariñas.
Notice how he cuts the ring. Instead of running after his opponent, Inoue takes precise steps.
He's saying, I know you got punching power, but you gotta.
He always maintains the perfect distance and advances with a high, compact guard, systematically closing off all escape routes for Das Marinas. The mere presence of Inoue stalking you like that, without giving you any breathing room, is enough to drain your energy and fill you with panic.
Great way to put it, Dre. Just his presence, the constant stalking, the perfect footwork to always be in position to attack. That is draining when you're the opponent, even if very little is happening with the fist.
Every punch Inoue throws carries very bad intentions, even his jab.
Of Das Marinas.
Naoya doesn't care at all if he can't find his opponent's head. If Das Marinas covers himself, Inoue hits his arms and guard to wear him down physically.
The undefeated champion.
And if he closes up well with a high guard, the monster digs into his body.
To settle down and land some shots.
There it is.
But then a shot like that'll land.
Left hook to the body.
This strategy of cumulative damage became painfully evident with his absolute focus on the Filipino's body. The pressure and punishment already paid off massively in the second round, when Inoue landed a surgical left hook to the liver that caused unbearable pain for his opponent. Inoue, smelling blood, continues to hammer the midsection.
Trying to survive the falls, another body shot comes in.
The clinical pressure culminates in the third round, achieving not one, but two more knockdowns caused by punishment to the liver.
Three-punch combination, goes back to it again. Uppercut, body shot again!
There were 3 knockdowns in less than 3 rounds. A masterful display of how putting pressure on your opponent with a solid guard, good ring control, and the discipline to accumulate damage can make you a terrifying monster in the ring. And precisely all of these techniques and strategies are included in this workout of the week. In the Skillr app, you can drill the same techniques and tactics Naoya uses in this video. Every week, we release a new workout related to our videos, so you can actually put to practice the theory you learn. Along with the workouts of the week, you will find specific technique modules, heavy bag combinations, and fighter and trainer workouts. Outthink and outbox with the Skillr app. In this fight, Inoue shows us ways to beat a crafty and elusive southpaw boxer. At first, Inoue does not find much success as he is unable to land his jab, and his activity is considerably lower than Doheni's. However, when Naoya manages to connect with his combination, he does so with great power, compensating somewhat for his reduced activity.
Doing these, he's fainting. See that?
Naoya knows that against an elusive boxer like Doheny, hitting the body pays more dividends in the long run, so he aims the vast majority of his punches at the solar plexus or liver.
Swinging shots that have caused Naoya that's with that as well.
Close enough to be able to land something.
So there it is.
Very gradually, Naoya manages to establish himself with powerful punches and by wearing down his opponent's body. Doheny finds it increasingly difficult to move around the ring and outbox as he was doing in the previous rounds. And little by little, he spends more time passively against the ropes with a high guard. Taking advantage of the fact that Doheny is now more static, Naoya exploits an opportunity in his stance. Doheny's stance consists of leaning back with his guard down. He does this because it tempts Naoya to come in with punches, while he, with his elusiveness and distance control, can dodge those first punches and catch Naoya in the middle of his attacks.
And he's trying to get Inoue to show his cards and throw something out at range so he can counter it.
The problem is that Naoya has been punishing his body so much that Doheny is now slower to react and retreat when Naoya comes in. He now advances with single explosive jabs covering a lot of distance.
Doheny. Now the straight jab. Is there a cut?
Goes down when he throws that right.
Thanks to these tactics, Naoya kept Doheny unable to react and dodge his punches, forcing his opponent into a less reactive defense, a high guard. And it is precisely in this more passive defense that his powerful combinations shine.
Punches and bunches going so far.
Still got a lot to learn.
Oh, nice stiff jab though. Up the gut. There. Oh yeah, Inoue. body punchers, and now you see the reaction from Doheny. That one hurt him, and I don't know if it's...
The fight begins with Inoue dominant, and his dominance only increases as time goes on. As always, Inoue perfectly controls the distance and earns respect with powerful jabs.
He closes that gap.
From the outset, he mixes up head and body punches and alternates between his hook and jab to keep Maloney guessing.
Hurt business, whatever type of moniker you want to use.
But what clearly stands out in the fight against Maloney is his ability to counterpunch. It is important to clarify how Inoue prepares these counters. Unlike other fighters, Naoya does not passively wait for his opponent's attacks. As demonstrated in the fight against Das Marinas, Naoya applies calculated pressure, provoking his opponent to attack. In other words, he employs a proactive counter-attacking philosophy. To achieve simultaneous counterattacks against his opponent's attacks, he mainly uses three techniques. 1. Perfectly timed jab. Naoya throws his jab as soon as his opponent begins their attack.
Watching him.
He does this very well, protecting himself by hiding behind his own jab, and he does it very quickly, often managing to get there before his opponent.
different.
It's a special combo.
Quick enough, I gotta be smarter.
7 years old.
2. The check hook. He receives Maloney with the hook as he retreats to avoid his opponent's attack, executing it excellently and demonstrating great timing and distance awareness.
Oh, that's Maloney.
Hear the thoughts that...
3. Off-center counterpunches. Naoya simultaneously counterpunches Maloney while moving his head to avoid Maloney's attacks. In fact, that's how he manages to end the fight.
Big overhand right. As round 7.
Oh, big right hand!
And that's it for today's film study. What have you learnt from Naoya Inoue? Who should we study next? Let us know. We'll also leave you with this detailed breakdown of Naoya in case you want to watch it next. And if you enjoyed the video, you will find more on our channel.